In this video, we're going to talk about how to use your Myers-Briggs personality type to grow as a person and get the most that you can out of your life. Ready? Let's go. What's up, geeks and gamers? I'm Matt Sherman, and welcome to Geek Psychology, where we use personality type for personal growth and self-discovery. Knowledge is power. Knowing yourself is just the first, step of all this. But when you do know yourself, you can really you can leverage your skills, your strengths, you can kind of shore up your weaknesses and just all around live a more aligned and focused and better life. If you don't know what's wrong, then you can't do anything about it, right? If you do, then you can take actions and you can, adjust your life into the life that you want to live. And that's what it's all about, right? You want to be aligned with your strengths, because the world needs you to be doing the things that you're good at, that you're passionate about, that you love to do. And if you're not doing those, then the world is suffering. That's my perspective on it, right? We need everybody playing their character class to the best of their ability. We need all the mages doing the mage stuff and the warriors doing the warrior stuff. We don't need the healers trying to be rogues and stabbing people. And, it gets messy when people aren't living into their potential. And we need that. So the first thing that you can do when you know your personality type and you've understood your function stack, which is one of the most important things about your personality type, don't just learn the letters, the dichotomies like I, E, S, N. Those are good. They're a great starting point, right? Knowledge is power, but you're going to want to delve just a level deeper. And it does get a little bit complicated, a little bit scary, because you're like, I don't know what all this jargon is. And I have a lot of videos explaining that. You can look over here. And my daughter painted my nails, and they're still there. They're beautiful. Anyway, so knowing your function stack and knowing the cognitive functions is extremely important. I treat them as different characters. You can look in my videos and find out more about those. But you have these different aspects of yourself that are doing different things and have different skills, and they're just like character classes. But when you know your cognitive function stack, you start to learn how to leverage those for different moments in your life. Like your dominant function is going to be the one that puts you into flow, that rejuvenates you, that just makes you feel alive. It's the hero of your story. It's the one that should be under the spotlight for most of the things in your life. People get really depressed when they're not using their dominant function, when they're not leaning into it. It's something that comes up a lot with client conversations. It's like, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm not feeling good about anything in my life. Well, it's because you're not using your dominant function throughout your day. Like you've stopped doing creativity stuff, or you're not, accomplishing tasks if you're a TJ or something like that. It's like, of course you're going to be sad and depressed and miserable because you're not fulfilled. You're not rejuvenating. You're not energizing yourself. You're not in flow. You're not dealing with this kind of level of skill and challenge balance that is exciting and brings dopamine kicks and a lot of enjoyment into life. And your auxiliary function is going to be there to support growth, get you outside of your comfort zone, stretch you. For me, leaning into extroverted intuition, I know that might be some jargony stuff, but as an introvert, getting out there into the world and doing stuff in the specific way that my auxiliary function called me to, is to explore the world. It sent me to Japan, put me in different cultures. I lived in Korea for a year. I've now been in Japan for, I always forget, 17 years or something like that now. It completely stretched me outside of my comfort zone and taught me a lot about myself. And that's what the auxiliary function is doing. It's like, if you're naturally an extrovert, it gives you introverted pull, right? It gives you a reason to do that in a way that you're still good at it, and it's not just exhausting to go inward and, delve through all this scary stuff inside you, right? For an introvert, it gets you outside into the world where you get different perspectives or different ways of dealing and interacting with the world. That's part of balancing your psyche and expanding yourself. Knowing your tertiary function is going to give you ways of de-stressing, of relaxing, of relieving stress. If you're an ENFJ, right? Getting into extroverted sensing, which is your tertiary function, jargon, I know. but it's going to, get you into your body, whether it's taking a bath or doing something like exhilarating, right? Going out, even just going out for walks, being outside in the stimulating, extroverted sensing world is amazing for that personality type, right? But it's also kind of a comfort zone, right? It's like, well, if I don't want to go inward, then I'll just do the tertiary stuff. I'll just go outward, right? I'll stay in that realm. It feels like you're doing stuff. It feels good, but it's not actually fulfilling in the long term. It's like snacking on candies instead of eating a nice apple. Yeah. So knowing that there's a balance between your comfort zone and your tertiary function and then your auxiliary function, getting you out into the world or getting you into yourself in whatever way that's calling for, is extremely powerful. And your inferior function is going to be the one that's like, it causes a bunch of issues. I used to call it like AI, like it's this buggy AI character that just gets stuck in rocks and stuff like that. And you're like, come on, just please work for me. And that's a part of your life. Like, I know goal setting and organizing my life and following a schedule is always going to be difficult in some way. And I've made extreme leaps into how good I am at it because I've delved into it as part of my personal growth journey. Is I've learned and studied goal setting modalities and how to organize my life and how to be more efficient and effective. As an INFP, that it feels scary and uncomfortable at first, right? But it's part of your aspirations. It's part of like completing the loop of your personality type and making you more rounded. And when we're talking about being more rounded, you do want to have skills in all these different areas, but you really want to lean into your strengths, lean into what you are the best at, because again, the world needs that and it's fulfilling to you, right? So you always want to be playing your character class to the best of your ability. But in terms of self-development and self-discovery, knowing your weaknesses is really important too, because then you can start to study around that. You can kind of learn a minimal like capacity for how to do the stuff within that realm. And when you know that, like for me, again, when I know how to set goals better and accomplish tasks and stuff like that, my whole life just kind of levels up. And you also want to lean into your strengths in business and like career and things like that, because that's what the world wants you to do. It's something that you're passionate about or good at anyway, right? So use that. Stop fighting your strengths. It doesn't make sense. I know we all do it sometimes, but just, use it. Use what you're good at. Appreciate what you're good at, which is another aspect of personal growth and self-understanding. Is when you know that this is your personality type, then you can actually be like, well, yeah, I'm pretty good at that, and feel okay about it. Not like, oh, not everybody's good at it. Oh, I thought everybody could do that, right? That's a messy trap, right? When you actually realize that, well, as an INFP, I am really good at, understanding other people on a deep level, and I'm kind of soft and squishy, and that's okay. Instead of, no, I'm a man, I'm gonna be tough all the time. It's okay for a while, but eventually you start to burn out. The next way that personality type will help you in your growth journey is knowing that other people use different personality types means that you can leverage their strengths. You can delegate out parts of your life to them, not in like a just, I don't want to deal with it, everybody else, clean up all my mess. So like if you're an ETJ, right, then maybe it's good to have some sort of FP in your life that's able to kind of like supplement you and give you some pocket heals and just kind of like give you a boost of self-understanding, because that's their realm. That's what they're good at. So leveraging those different aspects of yourself and surrounding yourself with the people that can shore up your weaknesses and you can learn from them while they're doing it is amazing. Like I used to surround myself with I had my wife was a hairdresser. Not my wife, my girlfriend a long time ago was a hairdresser. I had a tailor friend. He could fix up some stuff for me. I just had friends that had different skills and abilities and professions. And if you treat or think of personality types as a leverageable skill within your questing party of life, you can really, really go far together. And the biggest benefit of all of this self-knowledge and self-discovery is that you can use these different cognitive functions, these different aspects, these different parts of yourself as a way to get new perspectives, to learn, to think differently about your problems and your goals and different aspects of your life. Me personally, like if I'm struggling with something, I'll consult my introverted intuition mystic character that kind of lives within me. Or, I'll talk to my commander, my extroverted thinking, be like, what do I have to do here? And he'll just say, do this, do this, do this. Like, get it done. Right? And this is just accessing different neural pathways, accessing different parts of yourself, kind of logging on to these characters, getting their perspective, and then hopefully listening to them so that you can take the actions that you know you need to take in order to get the stuff done in your life that's going to make your life better. That's the best thing in the world. And if you want some more help with that, you can go to geekpsychology.com and check out some of my courses or personal coaching, or you can check out this video over here to get a deeper understanding of the 8 different cognitive functions and how you can use those perspectives to improve your life. Yay! Because that's what we need. See you there. See, the sun is glowing. Oh, the golden sun is coming out right now. I think it's called golden hour, I think. That might be something else.